The UK CMA just blocked the Activision acquisition. Let's talk about it. What's going on? This is Julian with True Nerd, and I haven't done one of these in a while, but during this coffee break, we're going to talk about the Activision acquisition and what the CMA kind of running interference may mean for the future of one, this merger or this acquisition, and two, Xbox. So first, a lot of people thought that this acquisition would be blocked because of Call of Duty specifically. But here the CMA is saying that Microsoft has such a strong hold on cloud gaming that this would cause too much, or it would reduce the level of competition between other cloud gaming providers. Now, this seems a little weird because, and these assumptions could be wrong, but this is what was said in the past. Microsoft talked with Nvidia, Nintendo, and a few other companies to make sure that Call of Duty specifically would be available on their platforms. And as we know, specifically with Nintendo, with the hardware not being as powerful, at least not at this moment, it would have to go through cloud. In reality, and this is more of an opinion, and let me say this because I do not work with Xbox anymore. I was an employee, but I'm not working there anymore. So all this information is information that's readily available to everyone. But Microsoft's goal is to expand the availability of games to, I think, 3.1 million gamers. With this Activision deal, cloud specific, I think, and you can kind of see here, I think it would actually increase the availability of games on the cloud side by at least 150 million. Now, one thing I did not think about was basically the UK not wanting an American company to kind of gain a large stakehold in their country. And this is not something that I said. So if you look at actually the most recent episode of Podcast Unlocked, there is a creator from the UK who kind of speaks on this, and he brings a few things to light. One, the internet is not that great in the UK, but two, there are not a lot of large American companies that have great footholds in the space, and we don't know if that's on purpose. Now, I'm kind of just talking kind of off the top of my head, kind of going through my thoughts, but if you go over to gameindustry.biz, you can get a little bit more information, and if you search, you can see some of the CMA's documentation. But according to this article, at this moment, Microsoft has about 60 to 70% of the cloud gaming player base. But the hard part to kind of think about here is, whenever a company creates a new technology or does well in a space like this, whether it be cloud gaming, whether it be, we can use electric cars, we can use anything. Will they be punished because they created the best technology for it in that space? Sony's cloud gaming architecture is actually decent, but that's also built on top of Azure. So I don't know. I don't know. This is just a conversation. I want to see what you all think. Definitely put your comments below. I want to have a conversation about this. But it's a little. I mean, because when you look at the cloud services, you have Nvidia, you have Amazon, you have Xbox, and there's a few smaller players that are kind of coming up in the space, but those are the three main. But when you look at those providers, take a look at Microsoft, take a look at Amazon. Most people's cloud architecture is going to be built on top of one of those two services, whether it's Amazon Web Services, whether it's Azure. So at the end of the day, Microsoft and Amazon are going to, no matter which way this goes, they're always going to make money off of this. But yeah, so some people say, okay, if this deal does not go through, what should Microsoft do, or what will they do? So first, it's probably going to be a year almost before we really see the conclusion of this this kind of back and forth. So Microsoft and Activision have already stated that they're going to appeal this in court, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that court date would be in August. Not sure how long that's going to take, but let's just say this doesn't go through, because I mean it's looking like that right now. If this doesn't go through, there are a ton of smaller devs that Microsoft can go and buy, small to medium, actually large as well, but they did say they weren't done buying. Two, focus on their current studios, their current games, and three, really kind of dive deep into those partnerships. Now, right now, Sony does have a partnership with Activision. I'm not sure when that ends, but will this blockage cause some sort of animosity between those two companies? Will the marketing go back to Microsoft like it was during the 360 era? This is going to be really interesting, because if this doesn't happen, Microsoft frees up a ton of money. Yeah, so like I said, let me know what you all think. Put it in the description below, and yeah, let's see how this plays out. We have I think about 6 months until maybe not 6, 5 or 6 months before the trial. And yeah, it looks like we're not quite done talking about this yet. For more videos like this, stay tuned to True Nerd. And yeah, I'll see you next time.